day's a day, but luck's always coming my way.
Welcome back to It's a Grim Life, the daily vlog of the Grim Life Collective. As you can see behind me, I found a gigantic hole in the ground. This is actually the old Bellwood Quarry just outside of Atlanta, probably about 1.5 miles outside of the busy downtown Atlanta, Georgia. There is this gigantic hole. Did you know about that, Atlanta? Quarries aren't something new, but here, being so close to a city, this is pretty darn neat. I am a little bit terrified of heights, but this is manageable. I am probably about 20 feet away from the edge that goes all the way down to the very bottom. I don't know how much you can see about that, but there's a little trailer right down there on that landing, and it looks like a little matchbox car, but that should give you a bit of an idea of how high I am on this ledge here at the Bellwood Quarry. Now here's something neat. This has been, well, Atlanta is slowly turning into Hollywood, and all kinds of TV shows and movies are being filmed here. But in this place in particular, both The Walking Dead and The Hunger Games have used this quarry, the base of this quarry, as filming locations for their TV shows. Now, I don't think that we can get down there. As you can see over in that corner, there's a winding road that goes down to the base. But we do not have authorization. There are plans to, at some point, turn this whole area on the west side around this quarry into a park that is pretty much supposed to completely outsize Piedmont Park, which is the biggest park here in Atlanta. Now, if you have lived in Atlanta or know anything about Atlanta, Atlanta has more parks than probably the rest of the world. I mean, literally, there are so many parks here, it's not even funny, from the smallest ones to the biggest ones. And if they turn all this land that you can see over top there, and the land that's behind me, there's the sun. If they turn this all into parkland, it will be gigantic. It will be massive. And of course, it will bring housing and businesses, and more wildlife will be ruined. Now, I'm not talking about, I'm not some sort of environmentalist who is, let's save nature. Nature needs to be saved and tie myself to a tree. But it is kind of sad if you think about it. I mean, at one point they blasted through this hillside, through this ground in order to make this quarry, which supplied the concrete for a lot of the buildings and a lot of the roadways here in Atlanta. But still, this is pretty breathtaking. And that water is, it's hard to see from right here, but that water, you can almost see the bottom. It's that crystal clear. I mean, it's dirty, of course, and the sun behind me has created the shadows on the water, which has given that dark effect. But I don't know if you can see over in that corner, over by that trailer, it's pretty blue, and you can, from here, I can see the bottom of the quarry underneath the water. But some have called this the Grand Canyon of Atlanta, which makes sense. It is absolutely breathtaking. Now, I'm not entirely sure how close you guys can get here, or anybody who has not seen the Bellwood Quarry and wants to. But I was lucky enough to run into somebody who actually lives near here that gave me the heads up about this trail that will lead right here to the cliff's edge. And I'm about as close as I want to get. And if you can see, there's my feet. It is absolutely breathtaking to think that this is in the city, and just through the trees, and you can't see that. I doubt you can see that. Let's see. Oh, probably not. I can just see the top of one of the tallest buildings here in Atlanta, one of the tallest skyscrapers, and that's way off in the distance, but I can still see it. And this wraps around the corner This is pretty impressive. If you have never been to the Bellwood Quarry and want to check it out, I recommend doing so. You won't have to hike. If you drive to it, if your plans are to drive to it, you probably won't get that close. But either way, if you get the opportunity, make sure to head out and take a look at this magnificent wonder, this Grand Canyon of Atlanta, the Bellwood Quarry. And at some point, if this is a park, we will all be having access here. We will all be able to come here and have a picnic and play with the dogs and have them run around. I don't know what they're gonna do with this, but to think about it, it's pretty interesting. Anyhow, until tomorrow, I am out of here, and thank you for watching.
They call me a calamity man, but I'm trying as hard as I can to keep a bad luck away from me. I'm doomed to win the night, filled with misery.